36, please.
Same thing with workers' comp. We approved $1 million transfer out of the budget. We're doing $100,000 today just to get us started.
Have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. Item number 36.
If I may,
That was the one on, I'm sorry, it's 37. Okay, item number 37. County Clerk?
if I may make a motion that we transfer $151,337 from the general fund reserve to the county clerk general fund budget to return the excess amount of $66,968 removed from the clerk's budget for the new benefits department, and to fund $84,369 for the cost of new payroll position.
Mainly because I don't fully understand what you're doing here, and I thought I had made my own questions clear before, because it seems to me that payroll and HR director position is functioning well in our HR sections where we've got a professional HR person and staff who are doing that, and therefore you won't need to replace that position, in my opinion. And if you can help me understand why you're doing that, I won't mind voting for it, but I just
Sure.
don't see why you're gonna, you've taken.
This person is mainly to help with payroll, which the person that has gone now, that works for the county commissioners, will not be doing any functioning with payroll any longer for us, and we do all the payroll for the county. So if
you do all
yes,
the payroll?
yes, we do.
And so you have another person over there that did not go with the other three people.
Yes.
And as I understand it, that person was doing that kind of thing, like payroll and that bit. And these three persons that left your organization were not doing this particular job.
One of the three people that have left and gone with you all now was doing payroll, and that was one of his main jobs, was payroll. And so that's the person we've replaced, just that part of that person, not the other two.
Any further questions? I think we've already had the clerk make the motion to approve. You want to second it? Okay, we have a motion and a second. I'd like a roll call vote, please.
May I,
Oh, I'm sorry.
Chair, may I at least speak to that issue? I know there's been a motion and a second made, and there will be a vote. My position on this is that this may be warranted, it may not be warranted. We don't know. I don't understand what excess amount this is, $66,968. Excess in whose opinion? That money was transferred to the Board of County Commissioners to set up the new benefits office. This new position that's being created for payroll and HR, we've got an HR department most of us use, and that certainly doesn't need to be duplicated, in my opinion. And I think we've established a policy, and I think it's an appropriate policy, that when we take money or request money out of reserve, and this would be coming out of the reserve of this 17-18 budget, that we send that request or requests like this to the budget evaluation team. Let them take a look at these nuances, that may not be totally clear in just this agenda item. So I understand there'll be a vote to approve this, but if that fails, my recommendation would be that we send this to BET for review and recommendation to the budget board.
I wish I had thought to say that. That's the way I was feeling.
I too, while we are talking on this, at this moment, I'm not gonna be able to support this either. For one thing is, the motion that was passed to create the budget that, Mr. Hooton himself made included additional dollars for the county clerk, and until we kinda get our arms around how many dollars have ended up in the county clerk, I'm having a little issue with this.
Let me help you with that real quickly as far as additional dollars for the county clerk. The only additional dollars that I understood of was the $250,000 that, were to be used for Tyler Munis, and that money is, I think as of today, will be transferred to MIS, and so the county clerk will not only have not received any dollars of zero net gain, but in essence lost budget and employees in this whole process. So I just want to make clear that we all understand that the county clerk didn't come out of this with any excess money, nor was it an increase of my budget from last year. In fact, it's a decrease in my budget from last year and a decrease in employees. If on a one-to-one basis, if we look at it, and I'd be glad to go over this with you in meeting anytime you'd like, and I'll show you exactly where that all pans out after this meeting today.
Okay? Okay, any other comments? Hearing none, roll call. No.
No. Yes.
No.
Yes. Yes.
Okay, motion passes 4-3. Okay. All right. Item number 38 is general fund appropriations from the clerk's 170, the amount,
I motion to strike number 38. It's no longer
Here we go.
necessary.
That's a great explanation. Okay, motion to strike by the clerk. Item 39, discussion, and do we have to vote on that? Motion to strike, or since it's his item, we should? Okay. All right, we have a motion to strike. Do we have a second?
Second.
Okay, all in favor? Aye. Item 39, motion passes. Item 39 is 39 is transfer general fund appropriations from the sheriff 500 in the amount of $1,139,000 plus from salary to benefits to operation and capital. Transfer is requested to maintain a 10% balance.
Move the item.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second to approve. All in favor? Aye. Motion passes. Number 40, transfer general fund appropriation from reserve in the amount of $358,250 to capital improvement to fund the jail HVAC replacement project.
Move the item.
I have a couple of questions. I understand that we're gonna, half the money's coming, was approved this morning, is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay, and now this unit, when will it be installed?
I think Mr. Compton may address that.
No, the logistic questions probably need to be Stacy or Keith. I can answer anything as it relates to the BET recommendation from a fiscal standpoint.
It's going to take between 4 and 5 months to complete that construction. We'll start as soon as we can, which depends on this board.
How long has the unit been broke down?
I'm not sure. I've heard as much as a couple of years.
And that's what created the mold? Did that unit take out the steam and remove the air that?
It's part of the problem, yeah. That's part of that created this situation.
Seems we should have addressed this a couple of years ago.
I agree.
The sheriff tried.
Are we repairing the unit or replacing it?
Replacing.
Okay.
Total replacement. The money that was approved this morning by PBA will have to then be appropriated by this group. I don't know if you can do that today under new business or whether you're going to have a special meeting, but I'll need that before I can enter into the contract back to the board, and then we can get started. And it's time of the essence because it's going to take 4 or 5 months after that, and the mold could grow back in that time frame. So
That's why I was asking the timeline, because if you're cleaning the mold, it will come back if you don't get the
Exactly.
moisture out of there.
this should solve the problem. It should be able to. Yes. Yeah. The designer understood what he was designing with all those steam kettles and stuff in the kitchen to be able to exchange that air.
we're gonna spend $750,000, what about our maintenance? Obviously, the last one, we probably didn't maintain it properly, we definitely didn't fix it timely. This time, have we got a program set up with competent people that's gonna maintain this unit?
Well, your sheriff has the maintenance staff. They do their own maintenance down there.
Are we gonna have competent people to do the maintenance that you're aware of, that are familiar with this particular unit?
I can't answer that. Mr. Skuda?
Mr. Skuda?
I hate to spend $750,000, $750,000, and find out it's not gonna be maintained, like the last one. Obviously, they weren't competent to maintain
Well,
it.
it won't be 30 years old either.
It's my understanding this piece of equipment is very specialized as far as it goes. I think, one of the things that we'll be looking at is more of a service contract on that piece of machinery, to let the experts address that. That's something that we would most likely look into.
May I ask a quick question? Do you have policies and procedures set up where in your kitchen, if you're using steam units, that you have to have the vent hoods turned on, and that everyone knows that if vent hoods aren't turned on, that steam would cause mold within 8 minutes, because of the condensation? So does everyone understand that it's one is the cause and one's the effect, and if we put in new HVAC and you don't flip the vent hoods on, that it's not gonna matter if we spend $10 million on a new unit? It's not gonna matter if they don't understand that using those big kettles, they have to have the vent hoods on. Do they know that?
I cannot speak to the jail policies, as I am not, familiar with those, but I will definitely relay your concern to the jail administrator, or your
Okay.
comments.
Thank you.
Are we making these repairs assuming we're gonna have this over a long period of time of 20 years today? Or we're gonna be tearing it down and just amount?
That's not gonna be a question I can answer. I wish I would say.
It was designed for the long term, because there's no guarantee we'll get a new day.
So we are gonna put the kitchen back in the basement, that is the plan that we're looking at?
Yes, that's the only plan we have as I stand here today.
Yeah.
We're looking at some other options, but, they're what-ifs.
Okay.
Any other questions? I've lost track. Did we have a motion and a second yet? Okay. We have a motion and a second. Any further questions? All favor? Aye. Okay, all opposed? Okay. Motion passes. Motion did pass with 1 no. Okay. Item number 41 is the $250,000 that I believe the county clerk was referencing a while ago. Mr. Clerk?
Yes, I move that this money is, go ahead and moved from the county clerk's budget to, MIS.
Do I hear a second?
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Okay, board comments and comments from elected officials. None? I have none. Oh, I do too. Have a wonderful 4th of July. Be careful. Remember all the stories you always heard about the little kids and when you blow your hand off? Don't be doing that. Especially you, Ray.
Keith Monroe knows that firsthand.
Yeah, Keith has used up the gauze supply. No comments, thank you.
No, thank you.
No, thank you.
Have a great 4th, I already started.
Wish you all a happy 4th.
Okay. Any citizens' participation? Seeing none, do we have a motion to adjourn?
Motion to adjourn?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
We are adjourned.